Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to another recording of MTG Arena. Today is Monday 28th and as such we need to reroll one of these. Let's reroll this one and see if we get a 750. It seems like you don't get 750s as often as you would want. And see what we have to do today, and it's kind of a good thing we don't have a lot of news that came out or a lot of games that came out this weekend, is we have 3 days left for the season to end. So we need to play something that's in the limited rank. What is in the limited rank? I think it's this ranked throne draft of Eldrin. Let's just look at all play modes and think about this. Because this is going to cost that premium crystal currency, and it is going to it's going to be a pain in the butt. It could either be ranked draft Throne of Eldrin or ranked draft War of Spark. Both of which are promoted here. So rank draft War of Spark would cost 5,000 gold, which is a lot of gold, but it wouldn't be that premium currency, which I don't think you really get any more of this after a certain point. Or if we do Throne of Eldrin, that costs 5,000 gold too. I think if we were to look at the store here, I think this is the easiest way to figure this out. Oh, now they're selling the My Little Pony sleeves as actual money. Interesting. Anyways, packs. So what I wanted to see. So this, I believe here, is Throne of Eldrin, right? So this is the core set 2020. War of Spark would be the slightly older set. And then Ravnica and Guilds of Ravnica, I imagine, are the next two, if not all four of these are going to go into the next rotation of band. And I believe core set 19 Dominaria, Jalaxan, and Rituals of Jalaxan are all banned right now. So Throne of Eldrin is the right way to go. It's where I started. It's a really good place where I started, frankly. Puts me in a good position. So what I'm hoping from this is going to be we're going to be given a bunch, let's see, a bunch of cards, kind of like an arena run in Hearthstone, and then we build a deck based on that, but I don't really understand deck building or any of the cards right now. I kind of understand the general concept of deck building, but that's it. Suppose it wouldn't hurt to open these packs first. Now my understanding is that in the real world drafts you keep those cards, that you pay this kind of high premium to jump into drafts where you open a bunch of packs, to the point where it's questionable what percentage of people are actually buying packs of Magic the Gathering individually, and what percentage of people are going to comic book stores and game stores and playing drafts. But the trick there, of course, is that the packs are so low in giving you decent cards that as people are playing drafts, that they're just putting large piles of what they call draft trash on the side of their table, because there are just so many cards that they don't even want to take to their collection, which is also inherently a point to point out that there's just far too many Magic cards that are printed in general. So for 5,000 gold, the thing you would want would be more than one pack, but you're only getting 2 packs even if you win 2 wins out of 3. And let's see, you don't make back the gems until you've gotten 6 wins. So you really would have to be super good at this game to even stand a chance. So this is just putting money down the toilet, basically, so that we can get here, so that we could get, like, at what point would you even need to be for this to be viable? How much gold do you get? You probably need to get to diamond reward before this is even viable. Getting 1 pack isn't really worth it. There's a balancing issue there, certainly. Alright, let's do this. We gotta try once. Okay, so pack 1 gives us, we're gonna have 40 cards instead of 60. So we're gonna have to really look at every card. Red land, 4 damage. Red land. With a buff. That's probably really good. So I'll start with that. What? Oh, okay. Can I go back? No. So we've locked ourselves in the red, and the picks here are higher. I have no idea how much of this would be worth. Yeah, well, there's a low tier red. And so, unless I was to get something else, some other land, I can't even consider most of these cards. And it doesn't seem like there's much of a balance here. Are there... It's like only 1 blue. That's pretty expensive, and both of these are pretty expensive. I guess we're just gonna have to keep on going. Interesting. So we're going with a red knight. What do these sound effects mean? I have no idea. Let's see. Well, this would be an interesting land, so I'll do that. Because that's the thing I guess you're gonna need is more lands. That adds a white. And so then we would need something here that's neutral, because we can't really play anything else. So the golden egg, I think, is a pretty good card. Whereas the scarecrow adds potentially adding 1 mana of any color. with vigilance is kind of want the golden egg, but this would give me more characters and more mana potentially. 7 cards name 7 doors. What are the chances of me having that though? Very low. This roving cube gets +2 and gains trample until the end of your turn. It can't attack this turn as though it didn't have a defender. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. It can attack this turn as though it didn't have defender. Okay. So you play this for 7 mana, and then it's a defender, which means it can attack. But if you then pay another 7 mana, it yeah, that's too expensive. I don't trust that that's gonna happen. Alright. Here's a knight, and here's another dwarf. We're just going with a dwarf strategy, I think. Like, I'm gonna take this. We shouldn't go straight dwarves, I imagine. Then we really don't even have a choice. We're still on pack 1 and we've done 10, so how many, if there's, how do you divide 3 packs into 40 cards? That's the question. +1, +1. Interesting. I'll take outflank. Oops. That was a mistake, because I won't be able to use that card. Let's be real careful here. Well, you're just left with garbage there. Alright, pack 2. Totally just left with total garbage. And there's really no way to fix this, I think. Let's see. Well, if I could play that, that'd be great, but that seems really expensive. Well, I don't think I'm doing terrible, but I don't think I'm doing great either. So, I guess another scarecrow to fix some of that problem. This guy's probably not a bad one to choose. And Dwarven Mine. See, the thing I don't understand here, more than anything, is just, am I gonna have to bring my own land here, or am I mistaken in that? Let's see. Scry, golden egg. Ginger Brute. It's probably not too bad. Can't be blocked except for creatures with haste. I think Ginger Brute would probably be better than Golden Egg. Where... Let's see. Yeah, I'll take Ginger Brute. So I feel like I'm gonna end up playing people with terrible cards just like me. At least for some of this. +1. Knights. Maybe the right move there. That wouldn't be useful. Well, this is different than the Hearthstone Arena, where they just give you 3 cards to look at. I've already forgotten how many cards are in the deck in Hearthstone, though, whether it's 40 or 60. So, but I would say for MTG at least, for a 40 card deck is probably a reasonable way to do this. Let's see. Another creature. This could give menace to cards. I don't know if that's useful though. Alright, we can get another defender. So probably have too many defenders. Do we want this with adventure mode or this? +2/+2 and then 3/1. I'm gonna take this. I sort of understand how the adventure cards work now. They're basically sort of the same as the 2 card combinations that we've seen otherwise, where it's 2 completely separate cards, except for it's just 1 card that can do 2 different things depending on whether or not it's whether or not you've paid the extra cost. So menace might be useful. Double strike's probably useful. 7 dwarves. So we've got 2 7 dwarves now. It does seem like Throne of Eldraine in particular doesn't have a lot of cards. So when you're doing a draft just based on Throne of Eldraine cards, there's it's kind of easier. So yeah, this is getting pretty easy to figure out what to do. Exile target artifact. Draw a card. Well, I suppose that would be better than not doing it that way. So I'm going to throw a white land in here. And then throw a blue card in here because I don't even have a choice. I'm trying to do an all red deck and it's not really working. Can barely read this. I think it pretty much just exiles a card. I don't think that plays into our strategy much. Where? What else could we play? Take a blue land or take this red spell. The odds of me getting this blue land are extremely low. It seems like the game is intentionally pushing me away from playing red cards, which I really don't get this. Like, it does feel like playing draft is kind of the equivalent of playing a random game more than I think you normally would have happen. Like, there's some craziness to that. Okay. I'm gonna take this witch's oven because it can create food tokens, which might be very useful. +7/+7, I think that is pretty much the best we could do. Now it costs 1 white. So I'm gonna take that. What's this one? So do I want to try to get 1 more white mana? Or take this red? Discard a card, draw a card. Not super useful. I'm just gonna keep on with the Dwarven Mines. Of the 3 target characters can't block this turn, destroy any of them that are walls. Interesting. That's actually a very nice move. But then I want more dwarven. 7 dwarves. This feels like this is more of a game changer than this is. So we'll do that. I assume we're locking all of this in when we're done. Hingewalker or +1 and has haste. This is an artifact, so I guess it could move around. I'm not sure how this works. Like, do you put this on the field for 2 mana and then have to spend another mana to equip it? Or can you just automatically put it from your hand as an equip card? If the monster that you equip it on dies, does it then become an artifact and go back to the artifact section of the field, or does it get destroyed? I don't know. So, I don't want to really experiment with that. So I guess I probably need to grab another mana land. It'd be weird. We're not seeing any basic lands, but Something has to happen here. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. If at least 3 white mana were spent on the spell, creatures gain vigilance until the end of the turn. I think that's probably the best deal. I'm hoping. I'm gonna have to pick either a green or a black, so I'll take the mana land. Now I'm gonna have to pick a white. Another food token. So I'll take that. So do we want another blue? So we could use this as a flash card. It should just be labeled as an instant card, but apparently flash, it means instant. And we'll take that. And we'll take that. And after drafting your final common and uncommon cards that exceed the 4 times limit increase will increase your vault progress. This is, I believe, the secret vault thing, that once you've reached some ridiculous number, I think it's like 500 extra cards, you're given some wild cards or a pack or something. It's duplicate protection. So, okay. I don't think has anything to do with the draft. Okay. No cards can be found with the current filter. And we have 50 of... we have 50 of the 40 cards we're going to play with. And is there a logical reason to put in some more land? I'm just going to hit done and see what happens. We have this draft deck. Let's play and let's see what happens. So yeah, I'll have to look for feedback and we'll have to see what happens to see if I did terribly there, or if I did alright, or if draft is just so random that it doesn't matter. What we're looking for ideally is to have a random event occur so that we kind of know what we're doing. Oh man, I think I need the mulligan. I can't mulligan again apparently. That's what I'm gonna start with. Alright, fine, we'll keep this. We'll put the really expensive one on the bottom. And we'll play. I can already kind of sense that we're in trouble. So, 20 health. I don't think we start with 20 health normally. And it thinks I'm playing white, which I guess right now I am. Let's see. Dwarven Mine enters the battlefield tapped unless you have control 3 or more other mountains. I'm not sure I ever am going to control 3 or more other mountains. Can I sacrifice? No. I don't think I can sacrifice. Wish I could undo that, actually. I wish I could cast Deafening Silence instead. Let's see. Can't be blocked with creatures power of 3 or greater. So no attacks there. And in the turn. I don't know if my key mouse is going to work. Alright, yep, it seems like it is. So Dwarven Mine falls apart as a strategy pretty much on the first move. Like, my strategy is bad. Because I would need mountains and let's see. Well, it's just gonna tap this creature, so that's a waste of a spell. Yeah, greedily, what we would want here is just a quick disconnect, a quick concession on their part. That's what we would hope for. And do that 6 or 7 times so we can just be done with this as fast as possible. Wait, no. Oh, shoot. I just didn't play at all. Discard 2 cards. That sucks. I'm still not a fan of the way these things work. Like, there's a problem with the passing and not passing. Although I did hear someone describe it as Magic the Gathering is like Hearthstone for grown-ups, where you have to actually pay attention when the other player's turn is going on. Which, frankly, that's why I liked Hearthstone, though, is that I liked the idea that you could totally check out in during the opponent's turn, because they're just going to do whatever they're going to do, and it doesn't matter. Let's see. 2 cards in the graveyard, and then scry. I didn't need that, actually. I didn't need the blue land. But whatever. Let's see, do we want to attack? Let's see, there was a reason why we should. Inevitably, we're probably just gonna lose 3 times, and that'll be it. Like, if we even get 1 victory, I'll be very surprised. But the good news is that 5,000 gold gave us cards, and it seemed like it gave us 40 cards, which you get about 5 per pack normally for 5,000 gold. That's about the equivalent, I would say. 5 per pack times 5 packs would be like 25 cards, so doing a draft probably helped a lot more than it seemed to. Even if the big piles of cards that we picked are the only ones that choose blockers. How can I block either one of those? I don't know. So now we've got a defender. This one has reach. I'm gonna go ahead and attack with these two. And just see what happens. See if he actually is gonna bother to block with anything. Right. So now we've got a food token. I feel like deafening silence isn't too bad of an option. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what strategy I'm really trying to play here. It's a bad strategy, whatever. It's like, alright, health, food tokens. I'd heard that food tokens were not something that was played in high level, and I can kind of see why. You're just in this weird position. Sacrifice food. It's got its own little prompt. Interesting. I thought Witch's Oven would be more useful because you'd be able to sacrifice the opponent's cards, but that's not true. That's a different spell called Baked into a Pie, I imagine. Right. So yeah, I don't know if with the draft I got, I'm not 100% sure I got any cards, but if I did get any cards at all, I think I got at least 40, if not actually a lot more. Let's see. Can't block. Let's see how this works. So, put them on the field. Sacrifice food. It's not like we're anywhere close to having them run out of cards, though. So, that's not really a strategy I could be playing. It does seem like everybody is a mess of different colored cards. So there really isn't a lot of strategy in the drafts. By the looks of it. So yeah, I think this really is just going to boil down to I tried my best, and that's as much as all we can ever say about something like this. I will say that my what's on Steam Twitter feed seems like it's broken. So I had to go through Steam's own direct feed just to open up games that came out this weekend. This is different from what happened a couple of weeks ago, though, where it felt like very specifically there was alright. Is there any ability like we can trigger? Not really. A couple weeks ago it seemed like during the Columbus Day weekend they just weren't allowing any new games to be released on that weekend. This just seems like it bugged. It does seem like that's happening more, and perhaps that is an indication of a tinkering that is happening with the API, or maybe not, of the games that come out on Steam. I spent the weekend trying to upload videos and kind of failing in a lot of ways. A blister burst on my pointer finger on my left hand, which is weird because I was developing a blister on my pointer finger or thumb, I can't even remember now, on my right hand, and that didn't burst, and the burns from cooking that happened on my left hand are probably not bad enough that they'll blister, and it seems like they don't hurt anymore, so they'll probably heal fine as long as I don't do something crazy. The uploader app, that the YouTube uploader app that I'm using, seems to run into bugs after about the 5th or 6th video, and it seems very much like you can only you can really only, let's keep this hand, it's probably the best we're gonna get. Let's see. You can only upload videos at one at a time, so it's actually a little bit slower than doing it directly through YouTube, although YouTube's upload service doesn't allow me to control as much information. So I'm still going to use the software, but it does seem like it has some bugs, and when it has a problem, it has a major problem. So 2 or 3 times I've had to reprogram or reset it in such a way that that the right video will hopefully upload at the right time in the right way. Let's see. Alright. We've got to play this. And then put this here. Yeah. I should have thrown in a bunch of reds into the deck and built up a deck, I guess above 40, but I don't think you're allowed to. Also, we didn't do anything with the sideboard, so if there was supposed to be a sideboard in this, that didn't happen. And I imagine this, while it could give you mana of any color, it doesn't count as a mountain. So next attack. You should attack. I'm kind of at a loss right now. I still need to upload videos, and that's just kind of not happening. And I don't really know what I'm gonna play next. I'm thinking I might even play Fear 1, like, because I've played too many kids games, and by the time a time slot opens up, I think it would be close to February, which would be about the right time to do a second Halloween. Like, cover more horror games, because let's face it, there's more than a year's worth of horror games that come out in the year. Alright, so what do I want? Well, both of these are good cards, but this one would be the best one. What this needs is a button, I think, where it's just all attack and pass. Like, something that's just like, we don't care what happens. Alright, so if this one decides to defend, now we can do something with that. Okay, I guess we cast that spell. Sure. One, two, three. And I guess none of those were defenders. So that may have been the wrong time to use that spell. Although that might have been the perfect time to use that spell. It does kind of just feel like you can do anything and everything within the draft, because like, if you can accomplish anything at all, you should just be happy about that and move forward. Right. If I attack with this one, I should be fine. One damage to each opponent. Alright, so let's go ahead and start covering the news, because I guess today should just be kind of a laid back, shorter day. I imagine we're getting daily wins if we get any wins. I imagine we would get any daily quests done if we accomplish any of the daily quest things, and more I think I will just end up once I finish the news playing off screen. This whole weekend there were opportunities to play off screen, but I spent most of the time still messing with the software called Rydo on Linux, trying to get DNA streaming to work. I'm not sure how much of this is the fault of the software and how much of this is the fault of the video encoding format. I think some of it is probably the fault of the video encoding format. 3 mana of the same color? That's not gonna happen. Right. And then attack with this. The trebuchet here might have been the better move. On second thought, I shouldn't have attacked with that. That way I could have defended with that. Oh well, I think we're still fine. Might just take a bit of damage. So yeah, I think we just need to get the news done. It seems like we're going into a weird situation of sleepy Mondays instead of sleepy Fridays, because we're streaming a little bit earlier. There's not a lot of news to happen on Mondays now. Can this guy not block? Yeah, this guy can block, so let's go ahead and block. Whenever deals combat damage, each player gets the top card of the library into the graveyard. So we could potentially end up running into a situation there. That's the right pay. So he's going with a deck destruction and hand destruction strategy, obviously. So do I want to attack with anything? Like, I think I can attack with this fine. And then keep these two as defenders. That'll just give me a little bit of health. And then if he decides to block with that, we can press that button. Alright. So So that gets rid of one of his cards. +7/+7 till the end of turn. Instant spell. Why couldn't cast that? Then I don't know. Okay. How many cards does he have? 20? I have 23, so his strategy of getting rid of my cards is kind of less useful when you recognize that my cards aren't that good in the first place. Just a straight up mountain. Right. That was the wrong way to pay the mana. I wanted this, but it left me with that. Hurry up and resolve, or concede, or do something else. I guess while he's playing, we have a Gamatsu article for the PS4 and Switch. ESP Raid Day Psy adds a new mode, Irori Room, which looks like it is some kind of room where you're hanging around, looking at characters. Let's see. I guess this really isn't a big interest to me, since this is a PS4 and Switch game out in Japan only. Looks like it's kind of a low effort game in the first place. What is this gonna do? Just counters a target spell. Alright. So I didn't get my guy on the field. That stinks. Let's attack anyways. And I wanted to tap this guy and do 1 damage anyways too. Seriously. -5. So here will be an interesting thing. With -5, does that do anything to him? Where it does more damage because it's negative? No. Okay. So I did 1 damage and got 1 health. 16 cards to 17 cards. This is gonna be difficult to say the least, though. Like, okay, goats. Sacrifice a creature. At the beginning of combat, on your turn, any opponent may sacrifice a creature if the player does tap cockroach. Okay, yeah. I'll sacrifice a creature to tap that guy. Oh, but then that gave him 3 health and he drew a card. So it's not super useful. I thought this was a temporary thing. Nope. It's not a temporary thing. Alright, well. That'll be interesting. Can't be blocked this turn except by creatures with haste. Alright. We'll take that ability. And then sacrificing him is not something I want to do. And apparently I can't do this? No, it's got to be a blocking creature. So something else would have to attack. Attack, 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 and attack. Shouldn't have probably attacked with that. That's a mistake. Yep, I screwed up there. Okay. Seems like he's playing a little bit of a strategy here. Just go ahead and auto pass because we don't want to sacrifice this ginger brute. And then we're gonna give him an extra 3 health, I guess. Let's see. Beginning of your turn. Do I want to sacrifice something? Yes. And that gives him 3 health and draws a card, which is actually what I want him to do, because I want him to draw as many cards as possible and just hope I can last long enough to see him deck himself, just mill himself to death. Next story we have here, inspired by Golden Age real-time strategy, the Red Solstice 2 is a strategy steeped in dread. So let's see what this video looks like. We can skip. Looks like a top-down real-time strategy in a creepy crawly area. Looks like it's inspired by half Halo and half just horror games in general. It doesn't look particularly interesting to me, and I just noticed that I have some comments on the chat. We have someone in the chat saying hi. Cass says hi. What deck are you playing? I could only classify this as the Idiot's deck because I'm playing Draft and I don't know anything. I've only been back to playing Magic since Ice Age, which was like the second expansion, for like 2 or 3 weeks now. And yeah, so I was playing a lot of Hearthstone. Reasons happened as to why I'm not playing Hearthstone anymore, and as such I came to MTG Arena here, and I don't know any of these cards. Like, again, since the last time I played was Ice Age decades ago, I have no idea what most of these cards do. I'm not familiar with any of this, so I'm just kind of struggling here in a draft deck, so I get the limited reward that your profile gets. I have like 3 days to enter whatever the limited requirement was. So, like, it'll be a long time before I could say, oh, I'm playing a red deck that goes by a certain name or anything like that. Like, I don't know if I'd ever get to that certain point. But this is a draft, so I don't think anybody in the draft is playing a specific name deck. Return these creatures to the owner's hand. Alright, you want to return that to my hand? And I'll play that right back again. And I can't tap it a second time. Should I attack? What would he defend with? I think I can attack with this one and this one. But yeah, this is Throne of Eldraine draft, so it's Throne of Eldraine cards alone. Where in the long run I probably should be trying to familiarize myself a little bit more with the Core 2020 set, which might last a little bit longer, but right now I'm basically still getting to the point where I am familiar enough with the familiar enough with the key phrases and such. The strategies I was trying to play here was a bunch of 7 dwarves and a bunch of these dwarven mines and a dwarf deck. It failed miserably because I didn't put any extra mountain lands in my deck, or at least I don't think I did, or it didn't automatically do that enough that it made sense. And then in draft you seem to end up with 3 or 4 things anyways. What's the word? 3 or 4 different mana colors, 3 or 4 different styles of gameplay. So yeah, I could only really classify this as a struggle deck, as much as any draft deck is a struggle deck. As for the other decks I play, they are the default ones that Magic the Gathering Arena handed to me. Right now, my assumption is after doing this draft, I get a bunch of cards. I'm not sure if the draft gave me like 40 cards, or if it gave me a little bit more than 40, or a lot more than 40. Let's see. Pay Adamant. Here we have a card. Let's see. At least 3 red mana spells. Get a +1/+1. Okay. And then whenever night. Oh man, I did that out of order. I should have tapped this first, then played that card, and then his ability would have triggered. My only strategy here is to make him run out of cards, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to speed this up, so I'm gonna sacrifice more cards. So what do I want to attack with? Or is there anything worth attacking with? I'm gonna just go no attacks. Yeah, this guy's Whenever these guys do 1 damage, they take 1 card off the top of the deck. Whenever this guy attacks, I can sacrifice a creature to give him 3 health and make him draw a card. So, in theory, the next turn we could get 3 more cards, and then if I can make it to the turn after the next turn, I can do 3 more cards, and then the turn after the next turn, the turn after the next turn, he should lose, just because of the draws. Assuming he can't defeat me. So I keep tapping this during 1 damage, pretending like that's a strategy, but it really isn't. Let's see. Protection from multicolored. Stones turf enters the battlefield with X+1/1 counters on it. What is protection from multicolored? The permanent can't be blocked, targeted, dealt damage, or enchanted or equipped by anything multicolored. That's an interesting maneuver. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and just resolve and then sacrifice that to draw a card. So we have a 10 with trample. That's not gonna work well. Let's see, my turn. Alright, so I was supposed to tap this one and then play this and then pay the adamant, and then I could have tapped this one again for another damage. Alright, is there anything else I want to do? No, just no attacks. Like, he's not attacking with those characters, so he's kind of realized that my strategy is just to make him run out of cards. But that strategy's not going to really work in 7 turns. Unless he does something different, or I could play something that would make him draw cards. Which I don't think I have anything that will make him draw cards. Whenever a creature attacks you or planeswalker you control, that creature control loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Okay. How does that work? Is this a defender? No, this one can attack. So target attacking non-human creature can't be blocked this turn. That sucks. So this turtle makes it so this guy can't be blocked. Ugh. So we'll block with that and get rid of that, but we are going to take a 1-hit penalty of 10. He's got another turtle, so I've lost. Unless I could get one more health somehow. Yep. That seems like this was how this was going to go. Oh man, I should have played this first. Because had I done this ability, then played this, then played that again, I would have done 2 damage. This trebuchet strategy is certainly something that I'm going to have to learn if I was going to play it. Right, well, I don't even have enough mana to sacrifice that guy. So we're gonna lose with 5 cards in his deck, and I think they kind of knew that was gonna happen. Right, so it just gave him a bunch of health. I'm doing 12 damage. It's not gonna really accomplish anything. I'm just getting rid of things on the field. I guess the question would become, would there have ever been an advantage point where that would have made sense? So we sacrifice this one. We can't really do anything with this one, so we might as well actually sacrifice this one. Resolve that, then sacrifice that. That makes him draw 1 more card, so he's 3. He would need 4 cards to draw. Even if he attacked these 2 times, that would only be 2 cards to draw. He's got the numbers set in his head pretty well, I think. He's gonna attack with this, which is gonna allow this to attack from without being blockable. It's a good strategy. Yeah, and I figured this is exactly how this was gonna go. We were gonna lose 3 times in a row. I don't want to break up a episode. I don't want to break up episode in the middle of this, so we're just gonna go long today and have 1 long episode around this draft challenge. I don't know if we're doing a draft challenge every week, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks. It costs 5,000 gold, so that is pretty expensive. Might as well power this guy up. But yeah, we'll probably end up doing these every now and then, and I almost certainly am only going to be at bronze tier level 4 and stay at bronze tier level 4. I don't think that there's even a good chance of me doing anything else, like, because I just have to get a win. 1 bonus pack 20%, 1 bonus pack 22%, 24%, Well, what are these percentages? Or is it that you get one bonus pack? You have a 20% chance of getting one bonus pack? That might be the case. Well, if that's the case, that makes it a little bit kinder for low-level players. It means you don't have to win 7 victories to be guaranteed 2 bonus packs. But the question is, how many cards are in a bonus pack, and what cards are in the bonus pack? Because an extra pack might not be even worth the time to play 7 extra games. Moving on with the news, Game Searcher has an article here. Greedfall beat expectations and led Q2 revenue for publisher Focus Home Interactive. Focus Home seems like they do pretty well. Greedfall, somewhat controversial game, I would guess. It seems like some people like it, some people don't. So the strategy here is crazy, to say the least. So I'm just gonna keep what we've got. Let's see. Play this swamp. Like, we want 3 mountains before we play this. The odds of us having 3 mountains before we play that is incredibly low. Because we didn't put any regular mountains in our deck. So, yeah. Destroy target artifact. It's not a card I want to use. This might be, if this is me playing against someone who has had 2 losses, no victories. Let's see. What is spell? Oh, I guess it's just asking me if I want to activate his ability. It's gonna do that constantly, isn't it? So yeah. Unless we just specifically have a really fast victory here, I don't think there's gonna be much to do. Let's see. 3 mana of the same color. We'll put that on the field. Put this on the field. This has been a pretty good card for me. Can I activate its ability? Not yet, apparently. Or let it resolve. Oh, attack. Attack. So there's this game on Steam called Panic Diet. It's tagged nudity and sexual content. It's a fat bunny girl in an infinite runner, low effort game for $2.99, English only. We very much may have more garbage games than even normal because of the way I've looked at the games that have come out, the way I've populated the list of games that came out on Steam today. Some of these games don't even make it to the What's on Steam Twitter feed because I think they don't even pass initial muster by Valve, or maybe they do. I'm not sure. It does seem like to me though that there is a percentage of games that are allowed to be put on Valve's storefront before anybody even looks at them, and by the time somebody does look at them, it's pretty obvious that they shouldn't have been allowed on the Steam front, on the Steam storefront. Alright. Just gotta put this on the field. Like, I don't even have an artifact to destroy, so... I guess that's an artifact creature. So I could have destroyed that. I should have thought of doing that, actually. Let's see. Next we have a game on Steam here called Last Shark Standing. It looks like it's a player versus player game, of which we've seen a lot. I will say this is visually polished a lot better than most games that come out on Steam. They're of not very much interest, but there might be something here. $12.99, English only. It says it's single player, but it's heavily multiplayer focused, so that wouldn't make it to my follow list because of that reason. Now he's played another trebuchet. So he's playing the strategy that I wanted to play. He's just actually accomplishing it. Let's see. Let's go and attack with that. Next we have a game on Steam called Xeno Crisis, which looks like a Smash TV clone. And it actually looks slightly interesting. Like, I've seen a lot of top-down twin-stick shooters that don't catch my interest. This looks like this might be a little bit of a nostalgic trip if you like Smash TV. $19.99 though is extremely expensive, and a bunch of language support. Is it multiplayer capable? Yeah, local co-op. No online. That's not super surprising. I'm gonna put this on the follow list and see if people like this. Good chance nobody does, or nobody plays it. But there are a lot of arcade games certainly that have come out that if you did it right and you made a new one, it would catch people's attention and make people want to really play it, but most people don't do it right. Even the original creators of the said arcade games. Smash TV as a concept, or a Robotron type game as a concept, would need a lot of modernization. But people haven't even bothered to try. Probably for the better. So bronze tier 4 as far as limited rank. So what did we really get for this? On 3 losses we're gonna get 50 gems and 1 pack and a 20% chance of a bonus pack. Okay. Why can I click on this and not do anything? Alright. So, open this pack and let's see what we got. It's a standard pack where you get, is that 8? Yeah, 8 cards. These don't look like they're terrible cards by any means, and I do now understand some of these cards a little bit better. But that's really where it all just boils down to. Alright, so what I was going to do is let's look in the collection and let's go into crafting mode, and then let's filter. Let's see. No, we don't want that. So let's click down there. Collection, crafting mode, filters over here. Right. Collected, not collected, Throne of Eldraine, and Magic Core Set 2020, I think, are the right moves for me. So I think what I would want to craft is a bunch of lands, and that's kind of all I know right now is lands. Like, I have a decent amount of wild cards, but looking here, doesn't feel like there's a lot of cards I'm missing, but there does feel like there's certainly enough that by the time Throne of Eldraine stops being cards that you can play, or the core set 2020 stops being a set you can play in standard, all of these cards I think would be useless. Like, unless there's something special about the core set. Some of these are at their maximum and they're working towards that vault concept. And I really don't have enough gold or crystals to do a draft all the time. Even on a weekly basis, it might be a time management thing. Like, ideally, if we're going to play a pauper's deck, just a poor person's deck, ideally where we would want to go with this, I think, is multicolored, like multicolored cards, and that way a multicolored card could use anything and everything as a way of improving. Alright, so let's see, if we were just to sort this down out of the world of the core set also. Let's see. So lands. That's not lands. Land. There you go. So most of these lands are infinite. The ones that aren't infinite are this. And I could craft 4 of these right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. I probably shouldn't have done that, come to think of it. I probably should go for more of a diverse spread. That one lets you scry. Now let's just have one of everything, so then we can at least think about things. And then these multicolored ones are common, so we got enough of those. Like, this is as far as I've gotten, as far as what the right thing to do with your wild cards are. When in all actuality, maybe sitting on the wild cards for another month would have been the smarter move. Like, there's a very decent chance that that's the case. I think that there's something to also be said about thinking the strategy through a little bit more than what I'm doing. Let's see. Tournament grounds, I think, is probably not what we need. Let's see, 4 mana. That's an interesting card. Let's see. What else? What else do we want to do? Yeah, I can't craft any more of these. These land cards with effects, I think, really are the right move. I'm hoping they are. At least we've got one of everything, but we really don't have enough to craft anything more. Let's see. So if that was the best move, then the next thing I would want to do is go not collected, Throne of Eldraine, multicolored cards. So let's look at that card before we craft it. That would have been smart. Well, that's gone. So more multicolored cards means more cards in general that I can play. These aren't multicolored cards. That's not the ones I was supposed to be looking at. These are what I was looking for. We want these. More of these I have, the more I can put in decks. And think about having more value, as much value as possible from these cards. Because they potentially are going to be better than the decks we have right now. There we go. Now, it might very well be a case here, as I'm going through all of this and potentially making huge mistakes. Oh man, I really wish I had that card. That card worked really well for people. Like, I'm really hoping that the am going to continue to get wild cards at the rate that I'm getting them right now. Otherwise, I did totally screw up there. Which, let's face it, there is a good chance I did totally screw up here. So what does that leave me with? 4 commons and 4 mythic rares. Let's see. Not collected. Throne of Eldraine. I guess now the question, I guess, is mythic rares. Because I guess that's the only thing left. Right. So, mythic rares really would come down to what strategy do I want to play. Really have no idea which would even be the right card. I haven't really seen any of these cards. I mean, this is a Planeswalker, so maybe we should get the Planeswalkers first. Let's see. Craft a Planeswalker. And I think you're only allowed to have one of these anyways. So nope, but you're allowed to have more than one of those. Well, let's not do that yet. So that brings some Planeswalkers into the field, and then that would just leave me with 1 mythic rare and 4 commons. And then if I was just to say, alright, show me all the commons that are not collected, could I find something of any real interest to try and get that would have a major advantage? Not really. So looks like blue. So let's see if we get some of these blue things. This might be a way of improving the blue deck more than anything else. Green too. We'll just grab something with green. Just craft that. So the fact that there are commons with adventure in them is interesting. Do I want to get a black or white? Yeah, let's get one of these eye collectors. That was an interesting deck. Interesting card. So, with the exception of 1 mythic rare, let's just do that. Yeah, let's just use all of our wild cards. So we'll just take the first one available. Okay. What we're missing in total now, if we can get a general idea, it doesn't really seem like too much. Like, there's no page numbers here, but that really only felt like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Less than 10 pages. Each page has 12 things on it. So there's 111 potentially individual cards that we don't have from this expansion, and we really just started 3 weeks ago. That's pretty good. Now, In all fairness, I don't know how many drafts or picks I would have to do to get this number down even more. And I guess the question really comes down to the core set. Do we want to go back and try to get the core set? Almost, I feel like we probably put ourselves on a path where we need to get just the Throne of Eldraine set, and once we feel like we've pretty much gotten everything there, then we'll come back and start to retroactively open up core set packs, which I guess we are eventually going to be opening core set packs anyways. And yes, we'll be opening more of these packs too. Yeah, come to look at it, we do have a decent amount of progress in our future. On top of which, if we wanted to, say, jump a boost to a certain level, you could get more XP. That might make sense, particularly like here at level 97 or here at level 90 if this Eldrin Mastery was anywhere close to being done, or rolling over to whatever the next expansion is. Alright, so the season ends in 3 days. Throne of Eldraine Season 1. I probably will do better in Season 2. And we'll have to do some deck rebuilds. I don't think we'll do that today. I think in the next recording what we'll do is we'll just play regular standard ranked, and well, just regular standard play, and just work our way towards getting the daily quest done, just as a time-saving measurement. And the War of the Spark, like, that's the weird one, like, because War of the Spark is before Core 20. So is there not a ranked draft? I guess I could open 11 more packs if I needed to, but that's probably the worst way to spend your money, frankly. Magic the Gathering in general, probably the worst way to spend your money. But let's see. Is there any kind of bundles? We could buy cards, showcases, which are, I believe, not the actual cards, but just skins. Cosmetic only, not a card. Cosmetic only, not a card. Cosmetic only, not a card. They're doing something different here, I guess, compared to this. And at a certain point, I think I should purchase each one of these. But actually, I think I'll save my money. Let's roll the dice on avatars and see if there's a sale at some point. Save the gold, see if maybe they come down from 3,000 gold to 1,500. Even if they come down a little bit, then buy all the avatars, which is not really that good of an idea. Maybe purchasing these sleeves, these will give money to Extra Life, which I think is the case. This, I think we probably should purchase though. So 4,000 gold for a card sleeve and claim. And we'll see if there's ever another 4,000 gold card sleeve to purchase. And then card styles are about the worst thing to spend gold on. Particularly gems. Alright. Well, that's going to be it for this recording. Actually, I did want to see, is there perhaps a ranked draft, let's see, brawl event? I think the brawl events, by the way, are going to be free on Wednesdays, so I paid money to do this launch event that I probably shouldn't have. Yeah. Standard event, ranked draft Throne of Eldraine, ranked draft War of Spark, traditional draft Throne of Eldraine, traditional standard. Yeah, there is no ranked draft core set. Which, okay, that somewhat, I guess, makes sense because unless the core set was out very recently, it just came out. The assumption, I think, for a lot of people is that you've got the core set as fast as possible. So it may be that we have to go back and get core set 2020. It may be that they'll release core set 2021 several months before 2021 even starts, and so there might be a year of just not having those core set cards and then adjusting that for the next year. Assuming I even play this game for a year, which who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.